Today we're going to talk about how to use ApplyTexas. ApplyTexas is an online application that lots of colleges in Texas use, including both community colleges and public and private universities. It's a great resource because you can enter in your information once and then copy all of that information onto multiple applications and submit them very easily. So it's important that you create an account so that way you can apply to as many colleges as possible. If you have an account already, it's important that you retrieve the information even if you don't think you can remember some of the information that you used for it. A lot of programs like Avid and Gear Up will help you create an account early on in your high school career. Or if you've taken any dual credit classes, you most likely have had an account or had one created for you to help you apply for those dual credit classes. If you don't retrieve your information and you try to create a different account, you're going to create multiple accounts for yourself, and sometimes the database will confuse the information and lock you out of your own account, making it very difficult for you to apply to colleges. So if you already have an account or you're not sure if you have one, try to find the information and retrieve that account information. If you have one already, all you'll do is click Create Your Account Now. It's going to pull up a little page for general information about you to create your account. So you're going to enter things like your name, your date of birth, and lots of stuff like that. If it has a little required sign right here, that means it's required, so you need to do those. The program won't let you go on without doing those, especially the beginning sections like the profile creation. You definitely need to put where you were born, both the city and the state. However, if you were born inside Texas or the United States, you don't need to select a country as it's already selected for you. Things like gender and ethnicity are not required, but they do allow colleges to have more information on you. So if you can, enter as much as possible in order to give yourself a head start for all of this stuff. If you are Hispanic or Latino, you're considered white by the government, so you would just click white there. If you're not a US citizen, answer honestly for this section right here. There's no reason for you to not go to college, so if you have any questions, just come talk to me and we'll go through it together. It's very important that you use a professional email for this email address, and it's important that you use one that you have access to. If you have an email address that you just use on your phone and don't actually have the password for, I highly recommend creating a different one, because if you get locked out of your account, you're going to need to be able to access your email address. So make sure you have access, make sure it's a professional one, because those are the ones that the colleges are going to be looking at. Something like the first letter of your first name and your last name is usually a good bet for a username for an email address. After that, you're going to enter your permanent address information. It's really important that you enter this correctly, as colleges are going to be sending things like acceptance letters and things like that to this address. Even if you don't usually get mail from there, it's important that you enter all of the information correctly. Again, you want to enter as much of this as possible, and it's very important that you do not try to select a different country if you live inside the state of Texas. After that, you can enter your own cell phone number, or if you don't have one, you can just enter your home phone. You're going to have to select the type of phone anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And if you want to include your parents' phone number as well, you're welcome to do that. And make sure you click the phone type, because it won't let you go on without it. For your emergency contact, I highly recommend using your parents or whoever serves as your legal guardian. And most of the time they will be living in the same place as you, so you can just enter the same house information there as well and make sure it's all correct as well. Again, you don't need to select anything if that address is inside the state of Texas, but you do need to include both the zip code and an email address. If your parent does not have an email address, you're more than welcome to just use your own again. After that, you're going to create a password for yourself. Make sure it's a memorable one for you, just in case you forget it or anything like that. For the password reset questions, you need to choose a question for all 5 portions, and you need to answer all of those. The program won't let you go without it. Once you do all of that, you'll just click Save Profile. And a lot of times your address won't comply with USPS formats. That's simply because there are extra digits that are added onto the zip code, or they'll capitalize it all for simplicity's sake. All you have to do is scroll down here and click this I understand button. If you get to this page again, you do not need to enter your password again. As you can see right here, it says that your password is already on file. So don't try to enter it again, because it'll make you change it at that point. Once you've done that, you just click Save Profile here, and then it'll create an account for you. Right here you can see the username that it's given you. You need to write that down because it's usually not a memorable one. If you need a username and password sheet, come see me in the College and Career Readiness Center and we can get one of those for you. And now you have an ApplyTexas account and can start applying for colleges.